Singer Niykee Heaton, she's been mentioned in the lawsuit of the Diddy case that's going on at this moment in time, and here she explains what she went through at one of the parties and what she saw. And remember, she was sober, so check it out.
Immediately I felt like there was something weird, because there's always drinks, there's always the vodka and the mixers just like sitting on the table, but we walk in and immediately Diddy hands me a drink, Kanye hands Lauren a drink, and we're like, that's weird. Like, why are they serving us? And I don't like to drink. I don't like alcohol. I don't like the way that it like makes me feel. It makes me feel sick. So, but my manager, since the beginning, she was just like, I know you don't like to drink, but if someone famous hands you something to drink, even if you don't want it, just like hold it and like pretend, because you don't want to seem rude. And I was like, okay. And it was like a vodka cranberry, and I was like, oh, gross. And so I'm just standing there with my back against the console, just like pretending to sip this drink. And I'm like, I'm not fucking drinking this. This is gross. And my manager was sitting across on this couch with Kanye's cousin, and then the other girls were sitting next to her. And immediately I was like, there's something fucking wrong. Like, I couldn't explain it. I didn't know what to do. But I just like felt that there was something not right. But I didn't fucking know what to do. I was 19 years old, like just left home a year ago, new in the industry. Yeah, I didn't know what to do, but I knew that there was something wrong, basically. And I was standing there pretending to sip this drink, and my manager was sitting across from me. And if you know about like my past and like us being together, like she's very much reserved, and people would always say like, oh, she's such a bitch, she has like a resting bitch face, and it's because she has like severe like social anxiety. Like, she just wants to like sit in the corner and like tap on her phone and like not talk to anyone. So she's not a bitch, she's just very shy. And I see her across the room holding her drink, and it was weird because I noticed as I was standing there just kind of just like wondering what's going on, Diddy kept looking at me and Kanye kept looking at Lauren, and like they were exchanging glances, and I'm like, they're like watching me strangely. And I'm like, okay, let me pretend to drink, and like I'm not actually doing it. And like that seemed to like make them happy, like me like pretending to like join in. And immediately I'm like, there's something fucking in this drink. There's something in this drink. And I didn't know what to do. And I like, my manager was like across the room, but like close enough, but like not next to me, so I couldn't like whisper to her. But I wanted to tell her, I'm like, hey, don't fucking drink this. There's something wrong with this. But I couldn't. So I reach for my phone and I start to type, and Kanye takes the phone out of my hands and he's like, who are you texting? Like, you don't need to text anyone. Like, we're having a party. And I was like, okay. And he like puts it on one of the speakers, and I'm like, fuck. Now what do I do? Like, I don't know what to do. And I see my manager take a sip, and I'm like, fuck. Like, fuck. Now what do I do? And then I see her take another sip, 2 sips out of this little vodka cranberry cup. And I'm like, oh, what do I do? 2 sips, and I watch her face flush. And all of a sudden, like I look over and she's speaking really loud and like making jokes. And I'm like, whoa, like this isn't her. Like, she doesn't make jokes. She's fucking terrified of people. Like, she doesn't even talk. And I was like, it's already hitting her. Like, 100%, I just knew that the drinks were all laced with something. And she starts like almost being like belligerent a little bit, but not in like a crazy way, just like really enjoying herself. And I'm like, that's not her. That's not her. She doesn't even want to be here. Like, this is weird. And all of a sudden she like dismisses the studio host. Like, she's like, you can leave. And I'm like, oh my God, like what's going on? And the girls file out. They go to like a different studio, or they go somewhere. And I'm like, I have to do something. I have to do something. What do I do? And I go to get my phone where Kanye put it on one of the speakers. And as I'm going to get it, I turn and my manager's walking out. And I'm like, no. Like, where are you going? I'm already seeing people being like, this is cap. What do I have to gain? Let me just ask you, what do I have to gain? I'm in a fucking farm in the middle of nowhere. I'm not in the industry anymore. I'm not filing a lawsuit, so I'm not getting paid. I'm not looking for clout, because who gives a fuck about me? So why would I lie about this? This has been 9.5 years since this happened to me. Why would I? Let me go on. Whatever. Yeah, so I see her start to leave. And I'm like, where are you going? And she's like, it's fine, I'm just going to the bathroom. And I was like, no, stay. And she's like, it's right there, I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. And I was like, okay. And she walks out. And all of a sudden, I realize that I'm in this studio. The music's low, the lights are dim, but you can still like see everything. And I realize that I'm in the studio with Diddy and Kanye. God help me. What do I do? And as my eyes were closed, this is gonna sound weird, because I bet a lot of you are wondering, like, how the fuck did you get out of this situation? My eyes were closed, and I prayed, and I said, God help me, what do I do? And it was like clear as day. I heard this in my head, and it didn't make any sense. I heard, go towards them. And I was like, oh, fucking great. The one time I asked God for help, Satan answers, because why the fuck would I go towards these two predators who are sexually assaulting me? Like, why would I do that? And then all of a sudden it clicked. My back was up against the glass wall. I could not go any further back. That was the only exit. He said, go towards them. They were already drunk off their shit. They were fucked up. So I lunged forward. I stepped forward, and it like threw them off balance. Like they were like, oh, you know, and like they stepped back at least 1.5 feet. And the moment that they did, I reached behind my back, I pulled the door, and I slipped out, grabbing my clothes. And I ran across the hall, across this corridor, and I hid inside of an empty studio that was black. And I sat there for like 20-25 minutes, just like crying, like, what the fuck do I do? And I'm texting my manager, and she's not answering. And eventually, I don't think I'm supposed to say this next part because it could hurt her case, but basically, everything she fucking said is true, basically. Because what I saw next, I fucking saw it. I was the only one who wasn't drugged. I was the only one who didn't drink their drinks, whatever. So I saw what happened next and who was involved. And that's why I'm a part of this lawsuit and like named in it. And yeah, it just, that, I mean, I got us both out, and I got us in an Uber, and she obviously didn't remember anything because she was drugged and I wasn't. And apart from the aspect of, you know, looking for help and they turned away, the only other thing that really, really fucks with me is, what about all those other girls that were there? Those 9 other girls who were drinking the drinks before we even got there. Like, I know none of them got out. I know none of them got saved that night. And I'm like, did they even fucking remember? Did they even know what happened to them? Moral of the fucking story, stay out of the industry. If you have daughters, make sure to tell them that they're idols. They should never meet, and should never fucking go to the studio with anyone, even if you're invited there as an artist, unless you have a bodyguard with you. You know, I thought I'd feel better after telling that story, but I really don't. But I guess the point is that, I mean, the same shit happened with Cassie. As soon as she said what happened, no one believed her, and they gave her so much shit. And it wasn't until videos came out and more people stepped forward that people were like, oh, she was telling the truth. And I'm here to warn you guys that more people are going to come forward. So believe her when she's talking right now.